Hey guys, Yugioh here. Today's going to be a little talk about the what is tier 1 of this format. As we know from YCS Toronto, which happened on the weekend, it was basically the setting the stone that you to step on really to see exactly is the beginning of this format looking like in terms of tiers. We still don't really know because it was quite a weird YCS. I'm looking at the top 8 right now because I have it listed on my blog. The top 8 consisted of 3 wind-ups, 1 heroes, 1 burn, 1 gear, 1 psychic grand soil, which was piloted by Jeff Jones, and 1 dark rod. So the fact is that it didn't really, apart from wind-ups, there wasn't really any other tier 1 deck right now that you can actually set in stone. It's really kind of difficult to understand exactly what's going to be the deciding factor that's going to put something into tier 1 apart from wind-ups, because wind-ups did perform very well. They actually won the YCS. They just generally do quite well now because of their ability to magician shark, and then you can basically summon like 3 Exceed monsters with 2 cards in hand. So it's very easy to go off from there. However, another deck which did come out in Return of the Duelist is Gears. I personally don't like the deck that much, only because I love the way that it's played. Like, I like if you were to play it like in a casual setting, it's good, but in terms of YCS and in terms of people who are going to be siding against you, actually preparing for your deck, Gears are just like any other machine deck, incredibly easy to side against. If you think about it, you've got Cyber Dragon, which is easily splashable in so many decks now. Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, which is going to be the 2 cards together, which is going to completely destroy anything, and System Down, which is just absolute butthurt in terms of machine hate. So over the format, when it progresses along through the months, Gears will get progressively worse. I mean, that's just the way that machine decks work. I mean, when the Machina Fortress Structure deck came out in February 2010, when Absolute Powerfuls came out, that was the beginning of the format. That was basically, it had a really good start, and it had good, I played it and it did pretty well. I won a tournament with it and so on. So it did play very well, but as the format went along, people did side against it. It's the same exact sides. You can side them against Karakuris and everything. So it's a general blanket side. So that's why people will be more attracted to use it. So Gears will not be as good, and it didn't even do that well at the moment. And it was supposed to do good because of Gear being so good, but the deck just did not perform, unfortunately. It didn't do too bad in top 32. I think it got like 4 spots, which is pretty decent, I guess. But in top 8, it only had 1 spot. But that might be just down to the players themselves, because there was a lot of decent players playing it. I think Billy Brake was playing it, Darrell Winston was playing it, some other players. So yeah, there were ones like Heroes. Heroes probably always going to be tier 1 or tier 2. That's only because of their general sort of like, they're decent to play. You can use them against any deck and they seem to do pretty well. I mean, Gemini Spark and Bubble Man seem to work pretty well. I mean, like now with Hero Champion Excalibur, the deck's pushed forward even further. You know, being able to churn out a 4000 beta can just get over anything, because if your opponent commits to the field with big monsters and tries to like basically say it's your move, but because of my field you're pretty much screwed anyway, then, you know, if you can just bring out a 4000 beta or 2200 double attacker at any time, the deck just, you know, it has answers to anything now. You know, obviously if you're dealing with things where they can't be destroyed too easily, the deck runs so many traps and stuff like that. So at this format where traps are getting more popular, especially D-Prison, it makes sense for the deck to be getting better. It will take some time to pretty much get an idea of how well they're actually going to do, but Heroes always seem to do pretty well in tournaments. They always seem to get a couple of spots in the top 32. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really much else to say. I mean, as the format progresses out, I'll be in university in a month, so, but I will keep an eye on the game itself, and I will have a look at how the format is playing out in terms of regionals, and make another video about this, talking about what exact decks, reasons why, and you know, which ones are actually not so much tier 1 but more tier 2, like 6 Samurais and stuff like that. And Dark World. I mean, Dark World, for instance, they just lose to themselves. That's the exact problem. I mean, they're never really going to be tier 1 unless they're overrepresented in the tournament. That is just how it is. I mean, the deck is good, it just gets inconsistencies and then it just dies out to itself. And you know, if you side against it, it's super easy to side against it. So yeah, anyway, that's my talk of the format so far. That's pretty much it to say. Check out my blog, because I made a post on analysing every top cut in the YCS Toronto, so check that out. Don't forget to comment if you feel like a certain deck has to be included, like agents. I don't really care for it anymore, but you know, any deck like that you feel like should be in a tier 1, and explain your choices, because I would like to hear about it, and if it's really good then I'll probably just post a reply to it and so on. So yeah, thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Next video will be up in a few days, so yeah, thanks for watching guys, and Thetcglover out.